Today's top stories at NBR. The country's largest health insurers membership grows, but ECE Investment Fund buys first childhood education centre, Reserve Bank admonished by the Privacy Commissioner, and there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Wednesday, September 15th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. The chances of further easing of building products restrictions, which are crippling the sector, are pretty much zero. The construction industry says sector groups have been lobbying MB all week trying to get more exemptions allowing building products manufacturers to return to work. Most building supplies come from Auckland, so the lack of materials due to the continuing level 4 lockdown in the city is causing disastrous delays to residential and commercial construction nationwide, they say. While the government has made exemptions for 8 companies supplying roofing steel, insulation and plasterboard to get back to work, they are limited to a total of 100 workers across all 8. There's also no supply of critical associated products. The country's largest health insurer has grown its membership for a 5th successive year, but says a strong performance in investment income is unlikely to be repeated. The not-for-profit Southern Cross Health Society said today it had posted a $53 million surplus in the year to June 30, up from last year's $32.4 million. The pet insurance business it acquired in early 2020 contributed $2.5 million to the surplus. It received $1.26 billion in premiums and returned $1.1 billion in claims, up from $1.14 billion and $927 million respectively. The society claimed it made up about 62% of the health insurance market. A fund that invests in early childhood education centres has bought its first centre and is forecasting an annual net pre-tax return of 6.25% to wholesale investors. Auckland-based commercial property syndicator Erskine & Owen is managing the syndication called the NZ Daycare Properties Fund, which is on the lookout for further centres that meets its standards. The fund purchased a newly constructed purpose-built Hamilton Daycare Centre for $4.19 million. The 2-storey, 639 square metre facility sits on 1,717 square metres of land at 24 Brent Grieg Lane in the suburb of Burbush. An expansion in online medical services catalysed by COVID, but likely not going away anytime soon, has prompted listed health company Green Cross Health to buy a 25% stake in online pharmacy business Pilldrop. Pilldrop directors Suzanne Burge and Jack Lee joined the NBR's Dita DeBoni.
It's an adaptation of how people are, because of the changing behaviour, people want to access the services differently. Yes. And Pilldrop is simply adapting to that change.
Pilldrop directors Suzanne Burge and Jack Lee with Dita DeBoni there. Solar farm developer Lodestone Energy is partnering with Infotech NZ and Westpac as it progresses plans to build a $300 million portfolio of solar energy farms. The company has secured conditional backing from Westpac for the building of a construction facility, while Infotech NZ, owned by Waikato Network Well Networks, will be Lodestone's engineering, procurement and construction contractor. Lodestone plans to install more than 500,000 solar panels on 5 sites in the Upper North Island, near Dargaville, Kaitaia, Whakatane's Waiotahi Valley, Edgecombe and Whitianga. Privacy Commissioner John Edwards has admonished the Reserve Bank for failings that led to last December's cyber attack, issuing a compliance notice for the first time under new powers granted to him by the Privacy Act 2020. The cyber attack was a significant breach of one of the bank's security systems and raised the possibility of systemic weakness in the bank's systems and processes for protecting personal information, said Edwards. As part of its investigation, the bank engaged KPMG to undertake an independent review of its systems and processes, focused on the containment phase of the bank's response from December 20 through to January 9th. That review, made public by the bank in May, found that unauthorised access had been obtained to a third-party file-sharing service used by the bank, exploiting a previously unknown vulnerability in the system to target its users. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, in his politics column this week, Brent Edwards looks at the hospitality sector's woes, while NBR talks to Finance Minister Grant Robertson about COVID and the costs. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place from around 5:30 again tomorrow for another NBR Today.